it's not a personal goal. It's more of a calling, and it's also based on social responsibilities that many men in this country, young men, have been scared to stand up. And
our guest, born in the garden city of Kumasi, he's risen to become the founder and chairman of the Koalis Group, focused on real estate, finance, property management in West Africa, of course, the world at large. He's also the developer of Wonder World Estates and the proposed Petronia City. Founder of the New Africa Foundation, he's focusing on less fortunate children, providing medical, nutritional, and educational support. Tonight, here on Star Chat, we will unpack his story and how he has traversed career, business, family, and now politics. On the 7th of January 2024, he took up the mask and announced that he would run as a candidate for the newvforce movement. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest is none other than the businessman, entrepreneur, founder, the brilliant, outstanding founder of the newvforce, Nana Kwame Bediako, or Sajifo he calls himself. You can call him Cheddar. It means money. He's our guest on the award-winning personality show Star Chat, live here in Accra on Star FM. We're also live in Kumasi on Ultimate FM. In Takrady, that's secondly Takrady, you're listening to us on Empire FM, and around the world on starfm.com.gh. Nana Kwame Bediako, a warm welcome to Star Chat. How are you doing?
I'm very good.
And you look it as well. You look well, you feel well. You're doing great.
Thank you.
Most welcome. So this show is proudly brought to us by MTN everywhere you go. Haptel, we say a big thank you to Haptel. It's everything you. Co-op mixture for your general well-being, and GCB Bank, your bank for life. My name is Bolore, and this is Star Chat. So once again, thanks so much for honoring our invitation, Nana Kwame Bediako. How are you doing today?
Well, the day is good. I think it's Thursday, right?
Correct.
Yeah. This is when you're getting close to the weekend. It's like, it's good.
It's good.
Yeah, the week is good.
All right. You seem to already be enjoying, national attention. You've arrested that energy from the Ghanaian youth, especially because when we posted this, thousands of comments. How has the breeze been since you took a real swing, if I should say, at the political, landscape?
Well, it's been quite a journey in a few months. It's quite a lot of people, especially the youth and the women of this country, have shown true consent and they care and want to see the outcome of a decision that has been taken by a young, courageous man, which I think they haven't seen that, in a very long time.
And how does that, make you feel? Going around the country, you did your 16 regional tour. What are they saying to you, Nana Kwame Bediako?
Well, first of all, I feel like I took a great decision. It was a very tough one because, transitioning from being a businessman into the political industry is not just, a decision that one can just take to switch from one business to the other. Of course, it was an exchange of industries. And when people have to leave the business world into the political world, it looks like they have to either gamble one and then concentrate on the other. But in this case,
is one suffering in your case? You've actually opted for politics.
No, in this
it's
case,
business suffering.
I still manage all the three things that I like to do the most.
Okay.
And one is, humanitarian philanthropist. And then the other one is business, which, connects with other things like industrialization, development, investment, projection on even management, in terms of operational, talking about the hospitality industry, right, and all of that. And then now is leadership, but I've always been in leadership. It's just that it wasn't that politicized.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a puzzleist, so I like to do many things letting it go and try to manage it. Not
So,
like
so,
that.
so, so you're saying that you're a man for all seasons and you can multitask and you're ready for this?
Yeah, I'm very good at multitasking, but I am also the type that I think the more you train your brain and the more you uplift your strength to be able to cover different fields by having support from people that you actually engage to support the vision, the idea, the more you mature and the more you grow.
Right. So I guess for many, the focus is on what you seek to do in providing a credible choice, in my opinion, for the 2024 elections. Who are you, Nana Kwame Bediako, and why should you be the citizen's choice for president for the next 4 years? Why should you be voted for?
So, which one should I pick as a question? Who are you, or why should you be voted for?
Well, I think that they're intertwined. So how you want to approach it?
Okay.
Who are you first, and why do you want to be voted for?
So first of all, I don't like to answer who are you because it reminds me of the average person saying, "Do you know who I am?"
No, but
And,
clearly you mentioned your credentials, so that should speak
yeah.
for you. Who are you?
And
Star
I think I'm a messenger who is being mistaken for an identity that is not very much positive. I am here to let people know that life is not about who you are, life is about who you're becoming. And I think I used to be known just as a businessman, or I just used to be known as a
Nana
young
Kwame,
kid.
the question is, who are you?
I'm answering
What
it.
do people say
I am answering the question.
for you to? Yes, but you're saying
Unless
that.
maybe you expect me to answer it.
No,
in
but
the
if you ask me, who are you, Bolare, I'll define and tell you. You mentioned that you're a philanthropist, you're out there, you're actually into
I think
business
that
and
Ghanaians
politics.
know that already. So
Yes.
repeating yourself all the time.
But you have to tell us because you're global. Who are you?
Well, I think it's more who I'm becoming today, like I said, and I was answering you. Are people will know me as a businessman in the past. Some people will know me as an entrepreneur or a philanthropist in the past. Today, people know me as a young, courageous leader who have started a movement to actually replace the existing political narrative which has undergoverned our nations on the continent. And so describing who are you goes further than just one position or one belt. And that's what I was trying to break down for you.
Sure, we're all ears.
You know,
We're all
so
ears.
yeah, I think this is how the world will be seeing me now, and they would obviously want to see more, the outcome of what these decisions and these journeys I'm embarked on. You know, the ones that have gained credibilities and skills, and the ones that I'm yet to prove my potential of making it a better industry.
Right, staying on who you're becoming, it feeds into who you are before that transformation. So who are you and who are you becoming?
Well, I mean, I think the entire country know already before I took this decision of becoming the leader of newvforce, and of course, taking the place of leadership in this country. Everyone knew me as a developer, as an investor, as a philanthropist. Many of these things, I think I've mentioned it, and a lot of people are listening. I mean, when I said I was coming here, I realized that I brought a crowd to start chat. You know, I've never been to your show. It's the
Right.
first time actually,
That's right.
and this is nice. It's a big room. It's a big space.
Thank you.
But yeah, so people knew who I was before, and I guess they know who I'm becoming, and they're intrigued about it. Some people feel like there is so much controversy, and they're kind of contradicting their feelings with their thoughts. But you know what? I feel like those who don't like it or don't like me have found a problem, and they need to find a solution for it. But those who understand me and like me have embraced hope.
Cheddar.
And they need to look up to the future.
Right. Is being president a matter of a personal goal or is a response to a higher national call?
It's not a personal goal. It's more of a calling. And it's also based on social responsibilities that many men in this country, young men, have been scared to stand up and say, look, there are some mistakes in our governance. There are some shambles. There are some crises creeping up in our economy, and there are some turbulences happening in the economic stature. We need to create a balance. We need to be able to add value to humanity. We need to be able to increase the growth of development in our country. I see these things as very important. If people don't, I do. And sometimes people are okay because they have a job and they get paid, and it's okay for them, their family, their wife and children. For me, it's not just about my wife, my family, my children. It's also about the nation I belong to and the country I come from. And I want people to understand that it's partly my social responsibility to be doing what I'm doing and taking the kind of decision I've taken. And there will be benefits definitely out of it, because I've taken past decisions that people probably laughed at me and they thought I would not get anywhere. But today, I don't have to tell my story. I dictate it and people tell it.
Interesting, because already we have loads of messages coming in just for you, and people want to know, getting into this, a national goal, and you've just answered that for you it's not a personal goal, it's for humanity.
It's a calling, not just a national call. I want people to understand that I'm going to go beyond this. After Ghana, I will go to Africa.
Really?
And Africa is us, and we are Africans. We're black people, and we belong to a continent that is very resourceful, but also a continent that goes through a lot of issues and problems. Lack of development, a lack of empowerment, a lack of socialism, a lack of economic prosperity, but we have all the resources that can provide these 3-4 things that I've mentioned. So I'm interested in the continent.
So after Ghana, after becoming the president of Ghana, help us, you are going to actually take over the continent, Africa. Is that what it is? Is that the plan?
I'm certainly sure that there are a lot of young people right now that they are inspired, they are uplifted. They are waiting to do more than what Freedom Jacob Caesar have started. And I like the fact that people are getting inspired. They're getting ready. Those people were sitting there and nobody woke their spirit in them. I think I am waking spirits up. And I'm not here to do things forever. I am not the selfish or greedy type. I know how to share proportionally, hence the reason why I have enough to share for everyone, because I know how to keep it and treat it and make sure that it's spread around people, the right way. So I would think that if I can help Ghana, which is my motherland, and I have a template or a blueprint that will help the next country, I would open the border and join the countries, and keep.
So one Africa, and that is your dream, just like Nkrumah had it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not able to do one Africa, because now we have thousands of dialects, so uniting Africa by language can only be in English or French. Okay, and I believe that that's the reason why God sent those colonials here, so we can have one language to understand ourselves when I'm ready to unite. But I believe that I am not just going to use the word unity to convince people to find the United States of Africa. I think it's currency that I'm going to use to unite the continent. And I'm that one that will bring that currency that will have a value that does not depreciate, the kind of currency that doesn't cause inflation, the kind of currency that is not going to bring distorted economy that would destroy humanity, the kind of currency that will be patched by God.
Well, that is deep, and we will unpack that as we go along. But let's break it down and get to know you well. I mean, doing this and putting it out there, I got this message from a 21-year-old who actually is in the University of Ghana, and it says that, Bola, kindly ask Freedom Jacob Caesar or Cheddar. Reports have it that his father gave him money to start a business. How much was it? What was his occupation? Because for me, I'm voting for him come December. I want to know how it all started for him. How did it start for you, Freedom Jacob Caesar?
Well, thank you very much. Let me use this moment to clear a lot of doubts that people have had over how I started entrepreneurship. When I talk about my poetry business and when I was young and how, my father gave me money and I turned it to hen and cock and it became a poultry farm, it's not because I want to tell you how good I am. It's because I want to let you know, if it wasn't for the fact that my brother went to use his money to buy fried egg and bread, I wouldn't have thought of getting eggs. And out of getting the eggs came the chicken. So that's how my poultry farm came. Now I want Ghanaians to understand that it's the mere thought that you have for people, the reason why they did something wrong had make you do something right. Because you can see that it's not because of the amount of money. I was destined I was determined to get eggs. But as I was getting the eggs, I found out that the eggs can become chickens. And that's the story. That's
how old were you? Your dad gave you money to go and buy?
I was 8 years old, coming to 9. And you know, Ghana, these sort of things are things that, you know, I might say it, you might not believe it, but I have people like my mothers who, luckily, they're still alive. And one of these days, people should interview people who are closer to me. And maybe they would tell the nation that this kid has been like this from birth. He has a third eye, he sees, he believes.
Oh, you have a third eye?
Well, that's what successful-minded people who are gracious are. They say that they have a third eye. A third eye is not visible. It means that you have an eye in your brain. You can see with your brain. As I'm thinking, I'm doing, and I believe I can do.
So at age 8, you were giving money. Instead of going to buy bread and egg, you bought some eggs, and then you had it. What?
It's not instead of buying. It's just that my brother bought the egg. Okay. That's what caused it. You know, actually, I was angry when I saw.
You.
Yeah, but you know what I did, Bola?
Tell us, please.
I made my anger quench my hunger by switching the thought. If I had to fight him, I didn't need to. I just remembered that in kindergarten, they said when you have a hen and a cock, you get an egg. And so that's what has led me to become who I am today. It's part of the reasons. And I might have just come out as I'm running to be a president. It's not because I want to be one of the presidents. It's because I've realized that there are gaps that hasn't been bridged properly. So I'm using that to inspire myself and motivate myself, and saying, just like I took the hen and the cock and turned it to a poultry farm, I'm using that to say that, look, I can do maybe much better, or I can help and make it better than what it is today if I'm able to turn that one city to whatever cities, or if I'm able to turn that one hen or one cock to whatever farm, or if I'm able to turn that little thing into a big mighty
So at
ocean.
age 8, you started a poultry farm, and you've never looked back from that time, clearly making, thousands of CDs, then into dollars and all of that. At what age did you make your first million?
I think I've said this over and over.
Yeah, but
and
of course,
you know,
it's a new audience, new people coming in every time. Yes.
People are, and I'm going to answer you, even
yes.
though I said it's 21. The question is it that people are interested in my wisdom, in my knowledge, in my achievement, or people are just interested in the numbers? Because if that's what they are interested in, I think they're wasting their time, because nobody can teach you how to calculate numbers unless you learn how to calculate it yourself.
So they doubt you that you made your first $1 million at 21.
Look, I don't mind if people doubt me. People might, sometimes the richest people are seen as poor. The poorest people are seen as rich. That's just the human mind when they doubt people. The point I'm trying to say is that I am trying to stop even the youth from thinking along those lines, where you are questioning how wealth is built instead of trying to find the ways and the means to create it.
Okay.
That's the kind of education I would love to be giving to the new Ghana, the new nation. That, don't ask people, where did they get this from? But ask them.
But that's a very legitimate question.
I know, but I'm just
the where or the source of the money is important. It's not.
You're right.
Yes,
you're right. You can. But if you put a policeman and you put a businessman, and you ask them to ask the same question, the policeman will ask you, where did you get the money from?
Right.
That is being authoritative. The businessman will ask you, how did you get it?
The broadcaster is asking you, where and what and how.
The broadcaster?
Yes, and that's me. I'm asking you,
Okay.
What is the source of wealth for you?
Well, the source of wealth for me is basically finding a way to create profit out of a great reason, vision, notion, or even a plan. But getting notion or even a plan, but getting it is not as difficult as holding it
Nana Kwame Bediako, what is your source of wealth? You want to be president of Ghana. Over 30 million people. We are entrusting our destiny into your hands. You want to tell us that you will help us create wealth. How did you create your wealth, Nana Kwame?
It's there. I mean, what do you want me to? You want me to? Wait,
no. Relax. You're listening to. People are listening to you. I would know, but they won't.
Well, fine. I'm trying to tell you, but it looks like you. Are you? No. Are you fishing for something?
No, I'm not.
Okay, because I can help you if you're fishing for anything.
No. I'm just asking a very simple and harmless question.
Okay, so if somebody has built development, has built hotels, has built businesses, and then is turning around, is bringing money, and you still ask them, what is the source of your wealth? That means you're asking them that, show me how you put the block to block, no, please, I'm coming.
Okay.
And cement to cement, and then show me how exactly you make a day, and how does it become 2 or 3 and 4? Because the simple source is there. You can see that this young man is a developer, an investor. I have built landmarks. When you get to Osu, when you get to other places, they're landmarks.
Exactly, that's what I was expecting from you.
Please.
That you have that.
No,
yes.
I want to finish.
Please go ahead.
You're
go ahead.
People don't know that you're my senior.
Yes, we go way back.
From school.
Yes.
So
we'll talk about that later.
So I think a lot of the people in the media sector ask questions and they keep repeating themselves. And sometimes I wonder if they want to have a conversation or interrogation. Okay. A conversation is very simple. You're supposed to be smart and wise enough to understand that, okay, this is the explanation. But if you want explanatory, that means okay, give me detail figures, this, that, and that wouldn't be a time on the radio.
That's not what I'm after. I just asked you a very simple and harmless question.
Do you think I've answered you?
No, I'm asking you a question and kindly answer it. I'm saying, what is your source of wealth? You can say, oh, okay, I'm into hospitality. Oh, I'm into, I have a cement factory. I have a hotel. I have this. That's all I want to know. What is your source of wealth to motivate the youth?
I said that, and I think even the youth who are already listening have done their research already. Today, the internet is the next Bible or whatever platform. You Google FJC, I will come up.
Correct.
NKB, I will come up. You want to know how many cars I have? Is there. You want to know if I have more than one wife? The internet will tell you. You want to know what I really do? The internet will tell you. But I'm just saying that there are much more greater things that we can talk about in terms of planning than repeating questions that I think Ghanaians have heard it 100 times.
Well, granted, and I'll give you that. I'm just asking the questions, and it's not to find out or to query you, like you rightly mentioned, that it's not an interrogation. I think it's an interview. So let's get
it's a conversation,
clear.
Right?
It's a conversation.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to.
But I hope that the question was answered, though.
Well,
hospitality, development, investment.
Now you give
an industrialist.
That's it.
It's all there. It's all there. And I said it from the beginning, but you still said.
No. I think that maybe is the mindset where you think I am coming from, and you feel that I'm asking the questions and being interrogated. But no,
it's not you. It's not you. And I was addressing everybody, in terms of the media platform.
Fair. So simple question. I don't think that they mean to interrogate you.
I think so too. I think what you're saying, you have a point, but you should also understand that I have a point because Bola.
Let's make some progress. But recently we realized that the GRA had issued statement, was back and forth, and you also had to respond and all of that. Have you sorted out that? Are you compliant with the tax authorities?
Well, I just think that I actually feel like people might owe me from sharing what I have with them. I have added value web and Pulse Ghana. It's because, they just thought that they can pick something that is being built and didn't look at all my investment and my time that I put in what I'm doing, my passion and everything, and just, take something out of a statement and turn it around and try to use the law of journalism by saying it's paraphrasing. No, and put me against my nation. I had to stand up to them. When I looked into it, I realized that EIB did not publish it. Why? TV3 did not. Joy FM did not. What are some of the other media platforms in this country?
City FM.
City FM. They all didn't. And it's not because they're Ghanaians and they didn't want to. It's maybe because they realized that that's not what the guy said. What he said is this: if you want to say it, put the whole thing there so we can understand.
So on the tax issues, you think that there's some political witch hunting going on, and also maybe the system. You mentioned Ghana Web and all of that. You feel that there's a deliberate attempt to bring Nana Kwame Bediako down, regardless of.
Oh, I don't think it's just Nana Kwame Bediako. It's the average black person that is becoming successful. People within you.
Is there racism?
I don't think it's racism. I think it's just some kind of either jealousy or enviness that has grown in us. Because even if you look into our history, we first of all started by selling our own people. And then after that, we started selling our minerals. Then after that, we started selling our commodities. Then we started packaging the strong ones. Go. Then they sell you. And so we have something that I think, if anything, it needs to be casted out. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that I'm being very honest.
You think that Ghanaians don't support their own and they want to
It's not just Ghanaians. It's even black people in general. You know, you go to America, it's not far from here. You know, they kill their own, but when one gets killed by the white person, then they're all angry. But you're killing your own every day. The only reason why you're angry because one white person have touched yours is because you feel like there are a lot of people around you to attack you. But the only reason why the white person had killed yours is because they realize that you don't value yours. You're killing yours anyway. So this is something that is in us.